And we're back with the Quake Pro League. This time around, we're getting ready for some Canadian damage to come out. It should be lovely. It should be very maple syrupy. I'm excited.
I'm excited for the maple syrup too, but I've also got our man psygib over here, and I've got to root for him for a little bit.
Yeah.
This guy is mechanical god. I'm expecting some robotic performance of the aim, and yeah, I absolutely cannot wait for this Ascent boy to do. He's just full of highlights everywhere. It's magic. It makes me emotional.
Oh yeah. psygib definitely looking good. Obviously was able to steal himself a pretty good position towards the end of stage 1 in the later stages. Really ramped it up, didn't he? Had a, I can't remember who it was, but he had a huge game. And ever since then it was an upward trajectory that came in. But
He had a very close match versus Dewey.
yes.
That was one of them. I'm trying to remember his follow-up, but he did end up going down versus Cooler 2-1.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1, 3-1,
Then do maths.
3 to
Never
1.
do maths.
2-1.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You struggled.
I think
there.
it was 3-1.
Yeah, but he's definitely been looking good. psygib definitely one of the players that we know can produce a lot of talent. The same can be said for cha1n though. He can go wild if you allow him to, if he can get into his element. But honestly, the problem with cha1n for me is that I feel like it's been kind of hit or miss now and then. I don't know if the consistency's been there. I don't know if you'd agree.
Consistency has very much been in question with him. I like to think that he had a good end to stage 1 overall, and certainly in the online aspect he was really delivering up until the final moment. So whether he can make that good transition across, and can he keep the level going? As you say, consistency, crucial, but when we see him playing at peak, he takes maps off Rafa and he does mental things.
Oh yeah, he is incredible when he hits his high points, but it's one of those, right? You need to try and find that middle ground, have the consistency there. Otherwise, if you're flip-flopping between really high heights and really low lows, it puts you into a bit of an awkward position.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm already trying to say, well, what do I expect to happen in this game? Let's take a look at the picks and bans now, and we can maybe get a bit better of an idea of that. I'm trying to think just what kind of where I'd lean with some predictions. We've got Aizen with a Ranger off the start. I tend to lean towards Aizen when we get into Vale. Awoken should be getting interesting. We have an Athena versus Strog game where we had a tiny bit of Athena today. And we're getting a tiny bit more as well later on. Strog had definitely been a staple. We're going to Scaled Bearer ban on Ruins. Was this a Respect ban versus psygib? We're going to get old classic Elena versus Visor. Oh, this is a tough one to call, Jackie. I don't know where to stand in this. I think I'm leaning towards psygib.
See, it's rough because I feel like normally, especially if we're basing it off the ranks, because right now it's like cha1n should be in a way better position. He's one of those where I know he's going to start climbing over the course of the season. I know he'll get himself into a better spot. But I don't know how good he is going to be going into this, or if psygib's just going to be able to come out and just look crazy, because sometimes he does. He really can just step up.
He has these moments, and I think he is a sort of a confidence-based player. When he is feeling good, he can suddenly turn into a gargantuan enemy. But it's how does he get into that? Can he pull that focus together, make sure that it is circulating around control rather than just being confident for the sake of I'm going to win these fights? It has to all piece together. I think I'm leaning towards psygib, but only very narrowly. 2-1. I think we've had a spurt of 3-0s today.
We've had
1-2-1. I think it's going to be our second 2-1.
Alright, well let's see if that is going to be the case as we will get back into the action now. It's time to kick it off. Let's see how it's going to go. cha1n versus psygib. Hopefully this should be a pretty exciting affair with both of these boys being out for blood pretty quickly.
There you go. Always nice to hit your first rail of the map. psygib's the opening damage. It's going to find him. Wow, direct immediately after. He has got an orb if he wants to use it, but he's being very at ease with it. Oh my god. And there's plasma balls out for a second. Can he find a bit of extra damage? He looks like he's just waiting for the heavy instead. And he's going to be awarded with all the major items. He's got a whole lot of things, and he's going to chase down here. He's only got 2 rockets to go. I think he realizes ammunition situation is like, let's not gamble. Let's not play with fire.
psygib going to start roaming around and seeing what he can find here. 2 rockets to play with. He's got 6 rails. Oh. They get close by. Both of them near misses as they do fire out their warning shots, and that's an instant fallback. Does at least get the pick up on the armor. Wow, that was smooth though, Zoo. Very nice shots there coming out with the LG.
Yeah, good LG, but oh my god, he actually does snag that rail. He gets a second. He's so weak. There's the third. I couldn't barely see some of those shots hitting. That was extraordinarily good from psygib. And I think he knows exactly where cha1n is. He's like, didn't I kill you earlier? It's a rail angle. He has to back away from that though. This is actually awkward. He might need to orb onto... No. He does it. I think he was cautious that he was being attacked from another side of the map. A little bit of a standoff.
Yeah, this is a bit of an awkward one. Both of them giving out the audio cues, so they do know where each other is. Waiting for the push to come around. psygib trying to play around the pole. Goes for the TP over. Does have the elevated angle now, shooting down with a tri-bolt, but isn't getting any connections off.
Spots him for a moment, not using the teleporter exit. Perfect timing for psygib. I really like seeing that from him. He's someone that does focus on his combat so much, but when he gets that timing going too, he ends up putting on crispy performances. Did he get him? Oh, he did get him. No, he's still alive! psygib, finish your plate, okay? Don't leave food on the table. No!
Oh no! Oh,
I can't even.
that's so bad.
It's gonna go down again.
Oh, this is not the sort of map where you want to make mistakes either, so...
I like what he was thinking.
No, yeah, I'm there with
He
you.
had some good thoughts in that.
Execution, though.
The thing is, it's actually... The thought makes sense why you do it, but it's actually really difficult to execute because you've got literally no margin for error.
Yeah.
If you're even just a moment short, you're probably not going to be able to get through. I think he realised that.
He just wasn't very good at math.
Genuinely, as a player, that's going to be really difficult to focus after you doing that. I don't think cha1n's going to fully understand what happened. cha1n's going to be... I mean, it doesn't matter for him.
Ooh, nice connection coming across, though. A couple of tags here and there. One frag separation between the two right now as they turn the corner, trying to get aggressive. Goes in with the die roll, actually commits to it. He stopped expecting it. He looked away, Zoo.
But it was the... I love those plays so much when you get the late slip gates. It really puts your opponent off guard. They do the sort of double take, and they can't aim at all when they do it. Ooh. Rocket's working out yet again. psygib back into the lead. And it looks like he's not too distraught after that teleporter hiccup.
No, yeah.
He's put it out of his mind.
Straight back into fragging. This powerhouse is warmed up now as he's hitting some really nice shots. One frag departure between them as they look to try and tie that up, it seems. cha1n connecting the shots, getting him low, and cha1n will frag him out.
I don't think psygib wanted to drop all the way down to the bottom, went a little bit further than desired. Oh, no, you know that's happened already. Sort of orbs, not quite getting there. You don't want to make a trend of it, psygib, and it's happening 2 times more than I'd like to have seen it.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's a bit of a risky situation at this point. It's already been going the way you would have wanted it to, as they are getting quite low. The full commit coming across as he's firing out these warning shots.
How is psygib alive? I don't understand. He was on 20 health, and he was just around the corner, and cha1n simply did not expect him to be that. And now psygib's got onto a heavy. cha1n maybe could have negotiated the major items a little more tactfully. But you know what? Both players in the game, both players tied up, and we have a match on our hands. And there's a turret ready to use, as and when. Oh my god, the orb! There she blows.
That is pretty wild. The drop in to try and go a little bit crazy there. The fire off back with the rocket as well. Nearly 6 minutes in at this point. And they're both very close. It would only require one more kill here from cha1n to try and bring it back into an equal situation. But psygib, he's on the run. He doesn't fancy it. He knows he's low. He's vulnerable. So he's going to back off and instead build the stack.
Yeah, knows roughly where he is, so if he wants to get some 25s, they're available. Looks like he just wants to get to heavy. 1 second. Some good timing, considering how out of control he was. He's played great there, pushes back up to the top, but the exchange rockets. Oh my god, he ate that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was right in the teeth.
Ooh, shots coming across, tagging up cha1n ever so slightly. It is tied though, it's 4-4. So both of them going to be playing a slightly slower cha1n, actually actively trying to make the play here as he fires down with the rockets and does connect a couple of them. Turret goes down, but this gives the game away for psygib, although he's hitting some really ruthless rails, and we'll finish him off with a machine gun.
It's the deadly 10-second miss time we just had from cha1n. You know, playing with so many numbers and so many strategies in your head, it can happen. And cha1n gets punished. That allows psygib to launch his way back into the lead. Still has amazing control of weapons, but what's he going to do to challenge on this this heavy? No, it's the third time. Is it going to matter anyway? cha1n's going to be able to pick it up, but the LG punish has been pretty good from him. But there's 2 rails back to back from cha1n. He's actually going to risk it. He risked it, guys. Spoiler alert.
Ooh, that's a nice tag across. There's a little bit of damage there. Still just chipping away at him, little piece by piece. Getting psygib remotely lower each time and attempting to try and finish him off.
He needs to go and find him now, as soon as possible. Good rocket, good follow-up. Orb comes out, but he was just simply too stacked for it to matter. cha1n now with the lead. Hasn't had that much this game, and he's able to spur on the control and probably find himself a nice route over to the heavy coming up soon. There's a good rail shot. Happy days at the moment for cha1n. And surely at this point, psygib's no longer going to try these orb plays. Ooh, psygib hurting a bit. Well, that's a nice little zone to work with. Tries to actually sneak up behind him. Who's going to win this? psygib gets it. He still has the mega to work with. cha1n playing so close to the line in terms of timings. We'll get a mutual frag. psygib probably hoping that for it to be clean. It leaves us tied 7-7.
He does have the rail straight off the spawn. Rocket comes out as well as he's hoping to see what he can find here. cha1n forced to fall back immediately. Drops out the turret. Push coming around. Ooh, close connections with the rockets. He's doing so much damage. He's nearly annihilated him.
Oh, psygib's in trouble hanging around this area. LG damage. This is going to be cha1n taking a lead now with 45 seconds to go. Has psygib got anything else? He's got his dire orb back up soon. Potentially his last dire orb of the game. And he's spotted the turret. That 15 doesn't make too much of a difference. He needs to start getting in here. He's got what he needs. Oh, but he just drops down before. That means that the Mega Health's going to get taken. psygib comes back through, looking for some of these rockets to connect. But cha1n, is this going to be him taking the lead? Or holding the lead, should I say?
That's 10 seconds. He needs the kill right now. They trade! Oh, it was there. That was the opportunity instead off the back of the cha1n. The trade. cha1n has taken it, and he will win the opening map.
That doesn't get much closer than that. psygib doing what he had to at the end. He knew he had to push in, but there's some important rockets landing for cha1n, allowing him to keep himself in the lead. And I'm already glossing back on the amount of dire orbs that missed their objective.
Yeah.
One stood out a lot by the teleporter outside, but actually the 2 that missed heavy armors, that's a big change in control that you're giving up. There's points you're giving up for free.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward there. Some weird fumbles over the course of this match that left people in some precarious positions. But
if that's not clipped, I'll be upset.
I'm sure it's probably somewhere by now.
He did manage to immediately go on a sort of string of control afterwards. He never seemed to get distracted from it. And I think that psygib, like, encouragingly enough, if he didn't have these moments with the orbs, his timing, I think, was better than cha1n's. He was very, very good with the items. I think that cha1n really has to maintain a strong face moving into the following maps, because psygib's not here to mess around still. He absolutely could still turn this around. But yeah, can't forget about cha1n. We move into an Athena versus Strog game next, which is going to be a little bit nutty.
Oh yeah, it will be a bit wild.
Yes,
it's
we're going to go full Kashu on this.
Definitely one of the more wackier ones out of the combinations we expect to see. So, depending on how do you reckon that's going to go? Bit of Strog, bit of Athena.
I mean, I've got to favour Strog at the moment. Strog's been more popular, been more within the meta lately, it feels like, but there's always room for Athena. Athena's one of those champions I feel like has got the most insanely high skill ceiling out of champions, but I don't think we're kind of there to exploring it. It's like with our oceans, you know? We haven't explored all of them.
No, yeah.
Athena is like the ocean.
Just hasn't been explored.
Something like that.
Right. But we definitely saw some good Athena action earlier on today, where the escapes were good, the initiation was pretty poised. Like it did look cool. It's one of those where if you can utilize the grapple correctly, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, I've been seeing so many clips lately on Reddit and stuff about the swings that we've been getting from people, and some fun little show reels of them. So I don't know if we're going to get that from cha1n, because you can't just be hanging there, quite literally. Like, if you're just there swinging around on the hook, you're quite easy to shoot out of the sky with someone like as focused in a 1v1 when you haven't got like other players in a deathmatch or whatever to distract you. But we'll have to see. You always want to do something that can surprise your opponent. If you've got some control, if you've got like a frag lead, you've got room semantics. And on Awoken, I think there's a lot of possibilities for that. There's a lot of really cool moves, actually. I'd love to see some sort of guides come out for that to show just some simple Athena tricks that can get you from one side of the map to the other and look badass doing it.
Yeah. Well, we will get underway with the game as soon as possible. Right now, we're just waiting for cha1n to not only be off the leash in the server, but also let his dog off the leash, as he's just letting his dog out.
Oh, does he have to let his dog out?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's fair enough. It's important to look after.
You know, you've got to look after them animals.
Yeah, precisely. Do you have a pet?
I don't.
No.
No.
I want a dog.
Yeah?
cha1n can have your dog.
What breed?
I wanted a dachshund.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, sausage dog's pretty cool, right? I also wanted the big fluffy white one. I can't remember what breed it's. Samoyed, I think.
Oh yeah. They're good dogs. They're good boys.
They're all good.
They are good boys. They are good boys. Well, once the good boys have been sorted out by cha1n, hopefully we'll get underway with this next one. But already a nice opening map has been taken by him, obviously with a one frag advantage.
We've seen a few one-sided games today. I like that we come back into these close belters that we've been having. The dog is back in the house, and we are moving into Awoken.
Or is the dog just outside now? He's back.
That could be it too.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
This out.
Yeah. cha1n let the dogs out. Let's get it.
Control yourself. Oh well, some fast Athena movement already. Briskly strolling around the map, hooking around the map. Little fake out jump. I'm just going to use the Pika to try and get a bit closer. A second left on this. Oh, the hook! It secures him the item, secures him the kill. cha1n on the board first.
Yeah, that's a big opener. Good use of the utility that Athena has in her kit. Push coming back through from psygib, though. Attempted to burn his way through him quickly. There does an awful lot of damage. psygib left on his last legs. Or this could be the fight that actually takes him down. The back rocket blowing him to pieces there.
Yeah, psygib really wanted the resources up at Connector. At that stage, you have not yet earned the right to take those resources. It's a control point on the map. When you're out of control, you don't, never mind. You just hit your rails and Bob's your uncle. You're on the board.
He's been killed by one porcupine, he was. Oh, cha1n with a follow-up frag. The Pika not being that beneficial right there.
Didn't do much at all, if I'm honest.
No.
It looked like he was trying to get the plasma bolts out. Well, it didn't.
It was a bit bold. It was a bit bold.
Can get some pretty damn tasty DPS though. It does work. Oh my god, the rockets from psygib. I do love though what cha1n's doing, because his timing on the item. He's basing his attacks on exact timing. And it's very close to giving him like a really convincing lead.
Can't catch me now.
Oh my god, these moves!
Wow.
He
Okay.
still
That was
gets
a bit
himself out.
straight away. Straight out of the situation. Doesn't fancy it anymore. No messing about. psygib starting to restock, looking for ammunition for the rocket though as he fires out one of his last few. Went back in with another Pika play. cha1n was at about, what, 12 HP
No,
there?
he was on 5 health,
Oh.
even less. It was unbelievable that he survives there. Another plasma bolt from the Pika, and he was done for. The cha1n lacking a bit on control at the moment. So we're going to look to close the gap. Hits a rail, there's a chance for another. The cha1n is out of there ASAP.
cha1n starting to roam around, picking up the hourglass as he begins to restock, has the grapples to play with, using it to make his movement harder to track as he glides by, still has one in reserve for a special moment. Listening out for the audio cues as he repositions. Here comes the push from psygib. Finally fires out that last grapple, but psygib straight in with a rail.
Why not? Spots the legs. No connections. It looks like there's no light armor to take too, so he just wants to get involved. 46 damage is a pretty decent amount. It's still stacked to work with, honestly. And that light, though, has just spawned. Oh my god, the damage. The full point blank. That hurts.
Five to 4. psygib, if he gets another frag here, he can start to bring it back and actually make this more manageable as he chases down cha1n. He's got him so low. All he's got to do is hit the rail, but he barely misses it on the flick. cha1n also grabs the heavy in the meantime. LG comes out to slay, but psygib really putting himself in a death-defying position as both of them are taking shots.
This is the longest 3 seconds of his life. He's spanning so much you can't hear from the other side, but this item spawns in time. He goes in with the LG, and the shotgun almost gets the kill. He was committed right there.
That is crazy. Such a close fight between those two, but in the end, he will still be able to get away. The shot's coming down. psygib fairly low, but cha1n in an even worse position in terms of the stack, but it won't matter if you take a rocket straight to the face.
Nice little double jumps too. Oh, the rockets. Oh wow, he misses a shot, but there's the mid-air. That's basically his middle name at this point from what we've been seeing from cha1n through the QPL. And his stack is now starting to look good. It's been sort of tentative for a while. He'll swing forward a little bit on that. Ooh.
Yikes. Almost getting the shots off. Slight misses there coming across. cha1n doesn't really have too much to play with, though, in terms of his arsenal. It's all been a bit lackluster. Luckily, he will find himself that lightning gun. Uses the rails he has very effectively, though, so it will not matter.
Stopwatch.
I mean, I'm just really liking what we're seeing from Athena today. Saw from CNZ, we're seeing it now from cha1n. He's giving us an exemplary performance. Fantastic mobility. Mid-air yet again to make it 10-4 on Awoken. He should be able to hold on to this too. 11-4. psygib desperately trying to push through and start to get back onto the board. Mega's up and there's not too much you can do with that. Oh, the rail right after the hook movement.
That's so nice. That was really smooth. Beautiful frag there. Getting further tags out as well as he looks to try and capitalize. Nearly missing. Oh, that's 2 awkward misses. There's the tag finally on the third as he will look to try and cut him off. Catches him off guard as they both start to battle towards together. psygib so low, but now completely dead.
Not even slightly dead.
No, completely.
Oh my god, that hurt. Oh, he knows he's coming down at some point. He's using every hook. It's like he's never leaving anything in the tank. As soon as there's one there, he's just, right, let's go. Movement, movement, movement. And now for psygib to come back in this, it is difficult. Not expecting to see an Athena performance like this. We've got cha1n exploring the oceans.
He's doing a good job. He's found a new species of manatee. cha1n. Wow, smooth stuff there with the rail as he's able to gracefully put himself in position. The LG coming out to play as well as he looks to finish off psygib. Although psygib jumps over his head, luckily he's now right up in the air, lined up, shotgun ready to blow, and puts him down.
psygib, I think, just had enough. Oh, he's out. He is out of the ring, out of the arena, and pretty much out of luck here on Awoken as he's 11 frags shy of what cha1n is on. He just wants to fight. And you see this, when psygib goes into these crazy, like, right, I'm just going to go forward, 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 and not base it on the control anymore, like he did on Veil, where he was looking great, it's all gone wrong.
It's madness. I think we're still, like, maintaining 4 ring outs a day average, by the way.
Yeah.
Because that's free, isn't it?
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting there.
Is it not 4 already?
It might be. It might be. But we're definitely keeping that high average of ring outs per show.
I like it. There should be a high average.
Ooh. cha1n, 17 kills here. He's doing a very good Wenger impression on Awoken tonight.
Well, he's definitely exceeded Wenger at this point. I'm looking at my stats. It was the 11-5. This is there's now 19. Now it is full Wenger.
Oh yeah, he is really giving it at this point. Still a couple of minutes left to play with as well, and it just seems like those minutes are for him to play with his food, as he has devoured his way through psygib into this second map, and it seems like it should be a 2-0, unless psygib had some kind of outrageous return.
What would he have to do then to win? Oh, I like it. I like a swing.
That was nice. I mean,
he'd have to stop dying to start
with. And he'd literally need to chain every kill together from this point until the end.
Like, flawlessly. He'd literally have to spawn.
Spawn and kill.
Yeah, and go. It's like doing reps. But like fast reps.
10 sets of 30.
Pardon?
Sorry?
I don't understand the question.
Back through. Looking to see what he can do now, though. Oh, here comes Pika. Oh, no. Look, he's not bothered at all. oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, just Pika just showing some of the scales, the whatever Scrog's made out of. Sorry,
porcupine sticks. That's the technical term.
Oh, there we go. Unfortunately, the mid-air will account to nothing, but he wants to get a little bit of a highlight himself.
Ooh. psygib. Some nice shots, just unfortunately such a ridiculous lead built up here by cha1n that it's unlikely anything too wild will happen, although that was lovely. Very nice flick of the wrist there.
He's getting himself a bit back onto the board. He's staring down the possibilities of maybe only being able to win 1 map. But he's got to get himself in there. I feel like he gave up a little bit too soon with the control game and really wanted to just heat things up, fighting. And before he knew it, the score was 6, 8, 10 frags away from him, and there's not a whole lot he could do anymore.
No, it was gone before it even started at that point, basically. It just quickly got taken away from him, way too far out of hand, and then you end it 22-8. So cha1n, you know, letting the dog out, clearly it raised his morale, seeing that good boy.
That's the highest frag score we've seen this evening, actually. We've seen some 18s, we've seen some 19s. Got 22 right here.
Wow, we got a
top score of Stage 2 thus far.
World
record for Stage 2.
Literally.
But not QPR.
No, not yet. Not yet. But it is, of course, only the second map. There is still a third map to go, Zoot. So maybe there's still a chance that that can be inflated even further. Or is it going to be psygib at least trying to prove a point and denying another 3-0 for the night?
It's a Galena visor. cha1n with a Galena, psygib with a visor. Oh, if we had something like this again, I'd be very, very surprised. There's something when you have like a light champion, hyper mobile, along the lines of Anarchy / Athena, and there is a sustained periods of in-control play at a time, you can snowball. The same way that if your opponent has got massive control, you will get snowball fragged. And it just happened to be that cha1n was able to land the shots that he needed to, keep the control importantly, and amount a ridiculous scoreline.
Oh yeah, he was really just having a whale of a time with a good majority of the frags that were found. This was a nice one though from psygib on the way out there. As you said, we get the flick off. Some beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Oh. do love a ring out. I do find it flavoursome. But yeah, that's enough of Awoken. More on Ruins, expecting something a little bit more thought out between the players. But the thing is, if they want to fight all of a sudden, these are both players who are like, who can get suckered in by that strategy. It's like, oh, you want to fight? Well, alright, I can fight as well. And then you make war in the happiest of ways.
Yes, and that's probably what we're going to be seeing, obviously, on the third map. And here's in the Fungeon, yeah. The worrying part is, though, Zoo, is this going to be another straight 3-0 for the night? Because it seems like that is the running trend. We've only had one game that wasn't a 3-0.
I think is, if there was going to be a 3-0 here, I would not have expected it to be cha1n onto psygib. I would have expected it the other way around. I still think that psygib can take this map, and you know what? I'm gonna hold true. I'll hold the torch up for that. And I say that psygib will still just about take this on. Even though we're going to Ruins, it's a very good map for cha1n typically, although the results he's had on that map recently have been mixed.
Right.
I normally see him play brilliantly there. We'll have to see. We're going to get in the game now. We'll just find out.
Yeah, well, let's find out exactly how it's going to go down. If the Canadian All-Star will be walking away with all three of the maps, or if psygib has a point to prove. As we get into it, the third and final map between these two boys. psygib opening up with a couple of points of damage there, firing off. Finds himself the rail quickly into this one as well. It's going to go quite early on with a pop use of the visor, so he can spot out where exactly cha1n is, set himself up, and it pays off massively. This should be the opening frag.
Nice to start. It's nice when your opponents walk into your lightning gun. It's nice when you walk into totems. A lot of nice things. He's clearing totems. Nice. It's always better to face plant a totem than it is to not see a totem. Would that be a lesson to you?
Write that one down. Zoot's life lessons on totems.
I have a lot of lessons about totems. I don't know if you've been listening.
Rule 1 was kill the totems.
Yeah.
Rule 2...
No, it's kill the totems.
Just kill the totems.
It's actually about 16 different variations of that rule.
ALG coming out to play, though, as he's going to look up to the skies, get blinded, and also try and zap the eyes straight out of cha1n. psygib with a nice opening frag into this one. Let's see how long he can actually maintain that lead.
Just risking it a bit between... oh, I like it. Scouting out. See, this is what you want to see. psygib rocking it. All of these rocks of cells. He tries to get the totem out one more time, but psygib's lightning gun is honed in on his target. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Gorgeous from psygib. 3-0 at the moment. He keeps on hitting them. Oh, misses the one through the air. That was the easy one. And cha1n is going to be able to narrowly escape almost certain death.
Some really nice shots going out there, looking strong into this. psygib's definitely a map that we've seen him play to a very high pedigree in the past, so not surprising that he's starting to feel himself finally.
And there will be the heavy shortly. He's checking a little bit. Is cha1n coming here? Are there totems here? You know what you got to do with totems.
Kill them. 2 minutes in, and psygib has 3 kills to his name. Goes for another use of the visor, knows that cha1n is lurking around over by the mega spawn that's going to be coming up soon. Actually, scares him off, gaining control of the mega for free there, Zoot.
I like it. That's actually a bit of a win for him. Thing is, now he's got to start doing some damage soon. So he needs to lock down his position. His ammunition weapons is fantastic. And he's just spotted the target. The target has also spotted him, which has made this quite complicated.
Back over towards the mega once again. It is coming up soon. Actually, cha1n might have been able to steal this one for free now. Forces out psygib, and he will be able to clutch it. So at least this time he is getting a major item to work with.
Oh wow, through the teleporter, he just eats everything, like 10 HP to go. He goes to the rail though, it's the hardest weapon to work with. And cha1n launches himself onto the board.
The opening pick we needed to see coming out from cha1n to actually start to get some kind of dominance going into this matchup, as he finally puts a stopping point to the reign of terror that psygib was unleashing for the first few minutes.
He's managed to find a totem at last though, which has been there for about a minute or so. That's not been taken out immediately. If you can find a couple more of these locations, get a pocket mega on the cards, then he's in a great spot. He's going to double stack it. That's very dangerous because you won't often go there to heal up. And they've just been destroyed.
That's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, indeed. All your totems in one corner.
Yeah. Same rules
I mean,
apply.
it's literally what he did.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll become a household saying, sadly.
Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. We'll try push it. psygib though. Still got a bit of a lead, so he doesn't really necessarily need to try and fight. Ooh. Although, it seems like he doesn't get a choice in the matter. Wow, that was nice. Very, very clean there from cha1n. Good directs.
He just wanted to fight there. He got an opening rocket and was like, yep, let's roll with it. LG at the top, the nails hurt, but we've got a tied game all of a sudden. There's a modicum of control at the moment for cha1n, and combining that with a landed rail, he is not looking too bad. Looking for a vertical. Who's going to be able to take the torch into the next half of the game? It's like heavy, set up better by cha1n. Did he spot him there? Well, psygib spotted him. Got a rocket jump up. Drive by rails from psygib. Not even through piercing sight at all.
Ooh,
just through uncensored levels of skill.
This is worrying. We're over halfway through here. It is tied up. We've seen games like this before between these two, and it's really not a great sight. It is going to be a little bit scary. cha1n starting to reposition. He's only got one totem down so far. The second has just come back up. 2 seconds till mega spawns, and he looks like he might hold for it. He is able to pick it up. No totems in play anymore, though, before he refreshes that one, Zoo. They're burning a lot of time off the clock here as well. Neither of them really wanting to try and take the combat to each other.
psygib's been so good at actually getting rid of the totems. It's really giving him a very equal footing in this fight, if not a slight advantage in the duel itself. But cha1n's been setting up early for items, which makes it difficult for psygib to really establish his own control with all the good work he's doing. There's the mega health for him. He does hit a good fadeaway. cha1n does need to watch out where does he go for to stack up. He can't just rush onto one of these items willy-nilly, and psygib knows exactly where he is, so see you later. We'll get back onto my totem, and back onto heavy. Right out in the open. I think he wanted that information in case there's a drop down. Rail for a rail. psygib's totally off the map at the moment.
The crazy part is, this is probably the one time he's actually going to be able to get the overstack off, even though he has used those totems a little bit more offensively.
Yeah.
Especially if he grabs his hourglasses, he'll be very close. What we got, like 4 seconds left there before that comes back into play. So this is actually going to be the first time he can use the overstack if he wants to. He's got 4 rockets. Very much becoming a stalemate, though, in terms of the fight here. They're not wanting to aggress. No one wants to make that initial mistake. Back over to fight towards the Mega. How is he going to opt to play this?
psygib not committing. Again, no need to. psygib really fighting hard to get himself a map on the board. Get himself 4 points. He doesn't get those triple totems yet. psygib does spot one out. That was the other one that was down in the heavy pit.
It's constant awkward fight for the Mega. Oh, the return to form, though!
Oh.
Wow, that's a beautiful mid-air that's actually going to dispatch psygib. Very nicely played from cha1n to be able to find that kill.
I was expecting psygib to pick it up, but look, he's done a lot of damage. He's surely going to attack there with the machine gun, knows how much he's done. And he gets the LG as return. He can't commit to this fight. He's done great damage. He can work with this, but he's got to settle a little bit. Oh, that LG. And suddenly psygib takes the lead. After cha1n goes 4-3, it's now 5-4. And anything still can happen. It's just because cha1n got his kill when he was so weak on health. And then you get one of those run-ins that you really don't want.
psygib looking to try and find where his opponent has scurried off to at this point, finally, with a frag lead as well. in this slow, methodical match. Gets himself the Mega to play with, fully commits into the fight, wants to get the kill on cha1n. Beautiful rocket delivered, but he was saved by the totem. Unfortunately, it's not going to save him twice. 6-4 in the final minute of the game.
It was right there, psygib. Come on. That's alright. Kill the totems. It's fine, however you do it. As long as you don't kill 3 totems in a row with yourself. Rockets are very good. There's a LG follow-up. Has cha1n got anything left to say at this stage? psygib really can't afford to risk anything. He does land at control again of the Mega Health. So, I heard you. I heard you, Totem. I was paying attention. That's it. All or nothing for cha1n here in map 3. Wants to get himself a 3-0, but it looks a little bit out of reach. He knows exactly where psygib is, but he's got to land everything possible. There's a Mega Health. psygib's going to pop over to it, and cha1n is low, cha1n is weak, cha1n is down. And that is 7-4.
I feel like he needed to commit there, really. It's one of those where there is no time. You just fully commit. You know, what's the worst case scenario? If you die, you've already lost anyway at that point. You're not going to be able to come back from it. It seemed like he was a little bit too timid in the later segments of that. I mean, obviously you're not going to have a fair fight, but
yeah,
he probably should have just gone for it. Although, it's a 2-1 in the end, Zook.
And a 21% rail that we had at the end for cha1n, when cha1n is usually someone you would rely... that's the thing with the consistency. If he can consistently have his rail up there,
yeah,
I think that makes a big difference for him. It's such an anchor for his game style. He has to be delivering with that weapon. And it's very difficult when you're not making that long-range damage or that snap damage when you need it, and you're trying to look for those follow-ups. All of a sudden your whole strategy reverts. And psygib feels very confident with an entire range of weapons, and I don't think he depends as much on any single one of them.
No, yeah, he is quite versatile as a player. There is a lot that he can do when it comes down to the raw firepower, so definitely an interesting matchup. We had a lovely airborne rocket there, though, from cha1n. I've got to point that out. His rockets were looking really effective at times.
I think he's the mid-air master. I think that's what I call him. And we see him do it so often. It's like with Wenger, I mean, to me, he's the rocket card at the moment. But he's not so much the mid-air because he goes for that efficiency. Sometimes you can get told off by a pro because, you know, you go for the mid-airs when you should go for something else.
Yeah.
I think his cha1n it tends to pick some pretty tasty times to use him.
Oh yeah, he definitely he knows when the right moment is. Like, in terms of his weapon prioritization, he's had some really great moments that come in clutch, which might look a little bit unorthodox to what other people do, but, you know, if it works, then you might as well roll with it.
Yeah, and will anyone ever top his double mid-air on Drama?
True.
I actually was speaking to Dramas and cha1n together about that. Dramas was still quite stressed about that rocket, actually. He didn't really know what happened in the moment, but he couldn't believe it. And I just thought I'd put it out there that cha1n's double mid-air had some long-lasting damage on Dramas. And it's good to know that you can impact your opponent that much with shots like that.
It's still playing in his mind to this very day. Well,
exactly.
Let's have a look at the next match that is going to be coming up, though, of course. Now, this one for the fans at home will be very excited. cha1n, of course, the man that came... well, really a fall from grace at Luca. Now coming back into the swing of things, he was the people's champion. Will he be reclaiming that title? And Cypher, an absolute living legend of Quake that I think people are going to be excited to see now in the Quake Pro League.
Yeah, these guys are going to be shaking hands and playing the game a little later. So we'll see how that one's going to pan out. We'll talk about predictions a little later on. Do we have something to show now?
We do have something a little bit special. We had Freya previously interview Cypher, so we're actually going to dip into that before we come back with the game. So enjoy this wonderful interview.
Welcome.